go in and do radio and not shave. But you have to come and shave every day for Midday. That's the great thing about radio. You can just go in. I mean, today, I was wearing... What was I wearing? I was wearing a ballerina's leotard and football shoulder pads, and I was...
So you do the footy show as well?
Yeah, I do. So, yeah, just like Blocker Roach. So, no, radio is just so relaxed and casual. If I was on radio right now, I'd be sitting like this. I'd just be like this, talking to a microphone. I'd be drinking. Oh, I didn't want to get to know you quite like that, Kerrie.
Yes, thank you. It's one of the funniest angles the guest has had so far.
I'll never forget you now.
So hair and makeup's a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I can grow a beard just inside 2 minutes, so it's really nice. If I concentrate, I can give you a full goatee in 5.
Now, as I was at home last Sunday, and the launch you go to air on Monday on Triple M, and there's these huge full-page ads. Look at this, folks, around Australia. You haven't seen this ad. This is what launched your radio career. Why?
Why?
Just explain the
because
concept.
I was there. Well, you know, you've got to cut through. You've got to let people know you exist, and we thought it'd be quite amusing to send up such an icon as the John Lennon photo. I think that's enough of that now. I think we can get that off our screens now. I would like to point out
you let people really know you exist. They probably saw more than they really ever wanted.
Yeah, well, I know I did. I would like to point out a few things. One, for a start, that I've started a whole new thing known as dweeb porn, and I think that's something society needed. Two, I reckon I've ended once and for all the cult of celebrity nudity. Nobody's going to do it after this. Nobody's going to be game. Also, I used a body double. It's true, because I wanted to look built, so I bought someone in that was really had the six-pack and the pectorals and the biceps, and I think you'd agree it's come up very well.
Now, I've got... What, this is the Lennon Yoko Ono takeoff, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, I just got to ask, how did she feel on that day of the shoot with you hanging over her?
If you can see in that photo, her eyes are closed. That's because Amanda was completely unconscious the whole time. She still doesn't know this photo was taken, and I'd really appreciate if nobody told her, all right? Because her mother will be furious.
Well, from the Lennon stuff, I mean, have you had any...
I think that is enough of that now.
Have you had any pot shots from Lennon devotees?
I was shot dead by an irate fan, but beyond that, nothing.
What about, Jennifer Byrne, your other half? Did you mention... I know Nicole Kidman won't go near the set when Tom Cruise is doing naked stuff.
Me neither.
Did Jennifer Byrne go near the set when you were shooting that?
It was a closed set. Jennifer's actually never seen me naked. It's just one of the little things about our relationship which I prefer only to reveal on national television. We had a sort of David Copperfield, Claudia Schiffer arrangement. You know, I basically am there to make Jennifer look glamorous. And we don't believe that for a second, do we? No, actually, it's the other way around. I'm Jennifer's handbag. She makes me look glamorous when we go.
But how do you go home to your wife and say, I'm doing this launch shot,
don't bring my wife into it. We're talking about Jennifer, please.
I'm going to be naked, sprawled over another woman.
Actually, it's true. I did take it home as a dummy photo, and I said, hoping she would say, I'm appalled, and I don't want to see... and I don't want to see this in print. I said, darling, I think I should show you this, and if you don't like it, I won't put it out in print. And she just looked at it and laughed and said, yeah, that'll be great. And I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. I said, oh, please say you don't want it. She said, no, fantastic. So there you go.
What an understanding woman.
She isn't understanding. She understands that only I was going to suffer.
And suffer you have.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Have you enjoyed being back, getting into the swing of it this week?
Yeah, I have actually. I mean, it's a long time since I've done radio, and I really do enjoy the spontaneity and informality of it. And I was joking before, but television is like a huge vehicle. You've got to move around, makeup and sets, and it's much harder to do. With radio, when you've got an idea, you can just open the microphone and say it, and then all you have to do is contact the lawyers afterwards to explain it away. I really do like that. And the hours...
We've done some wild things on here. I do lots of wild things. Do you think I actually tell them I'm going to do anything? Do you think I actually tell anybody, Jeff?
I wish you would. It'd certainly make it look a bit better, I think. Yeah.
I'd like to see actually Jeff Harvey with light bulbs all over him being ridden around the studio. I think that's...
Thank you, boy genius.
Oh, don't mention it. Jeff's going to thank me for that later too.
Now, your humour is so irreverent. Mm-hmm. Do you ever, like Robin Williams, occasionally go, I won't go there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got to do that. There are certain areas, you've always got to try and self-censor. But equally, there are some times where, particularly when you're ad-libbing and just saying stuff off the spur of the moment, you do say something and you realise you've gone too far. And people may not believe this, but when you do go too far, or when I go too far, I feel really terrible about it. It's not just a case of, oh, well, I don't care. I'll go home and go, oh, God, why did I say that? But in the end, it's out there, and, you know, you just have to be judged by what you've done. And I like to think that most of the time I exercise reasonable discretion, you know, unlike the start of this interview, for instance.
Ooh. I promised I wouldn't make you dance.
I know.
You've gone all Prime Minister on us, and Peter Costello. I wanted him to do the limbo. How low will Andrew Denton go? And you've said no.
Oh, come on the show. That's as low as I'll go, isn't it? I mean that in a nice way. Well, there you go. I'll go home and go, oh!
Now, what about getting the best out of your guests, when you, especially with the television?
Yeah.
I mean...
When I was making Midday television, yes.
You're making Midday... You really flirted, and it didn't matter whether they were male or female.
Well, no, I mean...
what does that say?
What does that say? It says that I'm a deeply attractive man, is what it says. So the thing is, as you know, an interview is not just a case of... If you've just got a set of questions and you're reading them off a clipboard, it's not going to work. It's actually... It's like a chemical exchange. You've got to somehow send out a signal to your guest.
You keep your chemicals to yourself.
You've got to send out a signal to your guest that you're on their side, you can be trusted, that they can talk to you. And look, I never used to realise that I flirted. Well, okay, this is an unusual situation. This is Sheryl Crow. We were just singing together, you know. It's two old musical people hanging around having a good time. And
you were flirting. You fancied it, didn't you?
Well, I thought Sheryl Crow was fantastic, actually, come to think of it. Now I'm looking at it now, I'm falling in love all over again.
Oh, cuddle?
Cuddle, yes. But
that was a two-armed cuddle with a microphone. Now, I've got to tell you, that takes interviewing skills and
it does.
In-depth with guests another stage.
Yeah, I don't recommend you do it, say, with a gladiator, for instance. I didn't try it with Vulcan, I can tell you that. But it just varies. It depends. I mean, Sheryl Crow is one of those great guests who really wanted to play. She was really good fun, and that makes all the difference. And, you know, you get other guests. I remember we had a guest who was so nervous. I always talked to the guest before the show, and I said to him, I introduced myself, and he said, what do you want to talk about? I said, oh, just your life, because you've had a fascinating life story. And he said, what do you mean? I thought, oh dear, we're going to be in trouble here. And fortunately, he brought his guitar onto the set, because I asked him 2 questions, and he just kind of went, So I said, would you like to play a song? And he was so relieved that that's all he had to do. That does happen sometimes.
Fears, besides perhaps occasionally going too far or thinking of it. What fears does Andrew Denton have in life?
My great fear is spiders.
Really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look, I know for a fact...
How fearful?
Well, I'm looking around the set right now to see if there are any. I know for a fact that not only are there... It's like when there's something you don't like, for some reason, every bit of information about that thing ends up in your head. And I know, for instance, that in any given square acre of the world, there's, scientists estimate there's something like 1 million spiders. So wherever you go, there they are. And I also happen to know that spiders...
So what happens to you when you're in close proximity to a spider?
Well, I can tell you, I had the classic arachnophobia experience recently. I don't think I'm totally an arachnophobe. I just think I'm slightly insane. I was staying at a house up the coast, and I was washing up, and I noticed the cup I was about to wash up in had a little baby spider in it. That didn't worry me too much. And I actually said to Jen, hey, this is my idea of a nightmare, you know, swallowing a baby spider. You know, so I'm washing up, and I suddenly see another baby spider, then another one, then another one. And I look up on the ceiling, and there's baby spiders all over the ceiling. And I'm swatting them and killing them, and I'm thinking, of course, where's Mum? Where's Dad? And Jen suddenly said, I think I found the mother. And I looked over to my right, and there was this sort of low partition, and I just saw this one big, hairy leg climbing over the top. As it turns out, it was just one big, hairy leg. I have no idea where the rest of the spider was.
So, you know, the fear factor is... So if I was perhaps to, what we were discussing before, take things just perhaps one step too further and showed you this...
Well, you see, the thing is, I'm over my fear of it now. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Oh, Uma! Oh.
What am I actually going to say to the person whose wall had just pulled that off? Instead, I've got an idea. That was a prize possession from Papua New Guinea.
Oh, yes, I suspect what you're going to have to say is, oops, spider broken. You see, but the thing is, I'd just like to say in my defence that this spider still isn't quite dead enough for me.
Well, you may as well finish the job.
Do you know Tim Flannery? This is a true story. Tim Flannery, the naturalist who's written amongst things that
do you know how expensive that's? Why do you think it's in the whole case?
Oh, look.
Do you know how expensive that spider was?
I'll tell you what, I'll replace the tag down the bottom which says Papua New Guinea. I'll help you out, Kerrie.
Yes, please. You're going to go and have to explain this one.
This is a true story, and I do apologise to whoever owned this disgusting specimen, but I've saved you some trouble. Tim Flannery was in Papua New Guinea.
Expensive, disgusting.
Have you heard of bird-eating spiders? These
Yeah.
are spiders that actually eat birds. They're so big they can eat birds. And, oh, please, get that out of there. And they were walking along, and there was a giant spider web, and the natives who was with said, watch this. And a bird was trapped in the spider web. This is a true story. The spider came out, stuck its fangs into the bird, and as they saw the bird get more and more desiccated, they saw the spider get bigger and bigger. But that's not the revolting bit. The spider, having finished sucking the bird dry, one of the native bearers stepped forward, hacked off its legs with a machete, grabbed its body, sunk his teeth into it, and drank the fluid. And you think I shouldn't be scared of spiders?
No, you had to finish like that, didn't you?
I did, just on an up
had
note.
to finish on
I've
that.
come in here, I've ruined the budget for the show, I've upset everyone. No wonder I'm not on television anymore.
Listen, you also do stuff with the band, because I've been listening to you in the morning, and you do this thing. You don't really have a band in the studio.
Yeah, we have a big band, the Lovelace Barber Big Band, 14 piece.
Can you actually move a baton or what?
Can I move a baton? Please, allow me to demonstrate.
Oh, I'd love to see this. Move, Jeff, anytime you like.
Oh.
Andrew Denton, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Harvey, thank you, sir. Gentlemen, on the count of 48. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, that was just too good, but I've just got to say, still to come, ladies and gentlemen, the 12-year-old who took over Tamworth, you won't be conducting for her. And also model Erica Baxter reveals the not-so-nice, the ugly side of the beauty business, but next, a custody case with a difference. We'll be back. Andrew Denton, ladies and gentlemen.
Tom's work is